Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. I just love it when the money lady is in the house. Here to talk to us about our money and our mindset around money. She is known as the lady from Profits in Daily because she basically gears her business toward coaching entrepreneurs. But if you're having money problems, she can coach you through that too. So you don't need to
Thank you,
necessarily have a
Terry.
business to seek out her advice. She can tell you how to get out of your money situations and to better the way you actually handle your money. So, with that, without further ado, I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups. My partner, Miss Francine Gregory, is in the field today, and we are here with Profits in Daily with Coach Caren. Coach, what do you have for us today?
Today we're talking about five-step system for money. And it's going to be a bunch of questions, guys, because when we answer questions, we go so much further. When we answer questions, we go so much further because
Mhm.
it puts us in a place where we have to sit and think. And when we do that, a lot of wonderful things come up. Now, I mind you, I know other things come up too, but our job is to really ponder these things. So I'm going to go ahead, going to list them out. We mightn't talk about all of them today, but I definitely going to list them out. And maybe
Okay,
we'll
now we're
continue the
talking about
conversation.
5 steps to
Five steps system for money.
a 5 step system
System for
for
money.
money.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm making a banner, so
Okay.
I'm like, did I get that right? Let's see. Let me see. Is this what you want us to say?
Yes,
Five
yes.
step system
Yeah,
for money.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it right there.
All right.
On point. Yes. So that's what we're
Very good.
talking about today. And all this month we'll be talking about money, different, different ways, different just different scenarios, different things, and what have you. All right. So I'm going to give a couple of questions and then we're going to get into it and we'll talk a little bit. So,
Okay.
where have you, we're really talking about where have you been on your money journey? You really need to know where you've been. And this is no accusation, this is no condemnation. This is just where have you been in terms of money? Where's your money been at? Have you always been broke? Are you afraid of success? Because we talk about the broke people, but let's talk about the people who is just in the middle and afraid to tip the scale and get over there to the success road. And if they were told that they're going to lose people that they're successful, and not in the words of it, but just in conversation, sometimes people can make you feel like if you step over and you're quote unquote rich, they can't be your friend anymore, they can't do certain things with you. Because let me tell you, the main reason is you're going to ask more of them and they might not be ready to give it to you or be
Mm,
in that conversation. So sometimes that's what happens. And number two, where are you going? So where have you been, but where are you going, or where do you want to go? Like, where do you want to go on this money journey? You know, and who are you becoming? Who are you becoming in where you want to go? And then you just want to know what point you're at this moment. No lies, no nothing. Just this is for you. This is not for anybody's eyes, just yours. Where are you at this moment on this money journey? And who do you see you as in the future once you're there? Like who do you see? Like how do you project and see? I love fairy tales, and I have been accused of living in a dream world for years when I was younger. I like it there. I'm not apologizing for it. Because when you're a dreamer and you can see yourself beyond where you are right now, you can get there. When you envision yourself or the things you can do, even though you don't know the how, the possibilities are so endless. You can't imagine what can happen, but you just have to see you there. I couldn't imagine myself talking to my young self having this conversation with Terry. Like, I couldn't imagine myself being on any
I,
broadcast.
I can't imagine having conversations about money, period. Nobody ever, in my family, nobody really talked about money. They all had money. Uh, but they never really talked about it. How to get it, where it came from, other than work.
Yes.
Grow up,
Yes.
get a job, and work. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. And a lot of families that happening too. I mean, unless you're an inquisitive child, I feel like I am, I would ask these questions, but my cousins didn't care about asking those questions. They got what they got and they're happy with it. And they used to always say to me, especially my eldest cousin, she died now. She used to say to me, Karen, why do you care? Because I had a great aunt, because my mom is an only child. So I had a great aunt, and she was a businesswoman. And I would always want to know stuff about what she do. And when she come home with a bag of money and she took some time out, I used to spend a lot of time with her. She used to come to my mom, pick me up, and I'd be there a lot of times. So sometimes when she come in with 2 bags of money, she's on her bed and she's counting out the money. And
Yes.
I would be chatting her up about what and why.
Hmm.
And I would always find out. And my cousin, I remember saying once, she says, "Why don't you just come outside and play? Why are you with Auntie Clarice asking her all those questions?" I'm like, one day I want to be like her. She's like, "Why?" She just couldn't understand why I would want that. Good morning,
Hmm.
Cecilia.
Morning, Cecilia. How you doing this morning? Hmm.
I was always just interested and fascinated about the whole idea that somebody could leave in the morning, prepare, she sell food, prepare everything and get out there and sell it and come back with money daily versus everybody else who went to work and waited at the end of the week to be paid. And that part
Mm.
has fascinated me, that she made money daily versus her siblings and any older cousins that I had that went to work get paid weekly.
Mm.
And she always had about 2 or 3 business. She had that Monday to Friday. She was, you would call it in this country, promoters. She was a promoter on the weekend. And
I
something
see.
that she used to be do arranging of. And the other thing I loved about her, a lot of my family did it, but she always looked after the poor and needy. You can stop in at her house anytime for a bath, food, and clothes because she could sew.
Okay. Wow.
And she made it her mission about, I don't know, it was about 4 times a year. Um, Home, we call it, the Dharam Salaba. It's like a poorhouse. She go and feed the people who live in these homes.
In the
Find out,
shelters.
yes, yes, shelters, you call it here. She go feed them and find out
Hmm.
what they like. When she, because I went with her several times, like when she go to feed them, and whoever come and talk with her, she'll find out what their needs are, and then she'll be back with either soap or, if they said they need clothes, specific people, she would just be looking after, and she'd come and check them whether she's feeding them or not. So it wasn't only about business, but she just cared for people like crazy. Like she had 7 children, and she did all of this. 7 kids.
Isn't that wonderful to have enough surplus to help people?
Yeah,
You know, um, and that's really a beautiful thing.
it is a
Whether it's
beautiful thing.
whether it's through your job or through, being an entrepreneur, when God gives you surplus, to be grateful enough to look after others or to be
Yes,
concerned or contribute to the welfare of
yes,
others. And
yes.
Cecilia says your aunt was a wonderful woman.
Oh, she was Cecilia. Oh,
Hmm.
I cried for days after she died. I tell you, people, educated people, status people, I see their funerals. I'm telling you, I see funerals here. Nobody could match my Auntie Clara's funeral. The street was rampacked. We had
Mm.
police on horses there. The
Mm.
people poured out like crazy. We know she know a lot of people, but I tell you, people came and sat for days after she died, but just come and sit on the stairs, like
Mm.
on disbelief, to just sit there, just like waiting. And me, her daughter said, she's not coming.
Have mercy.
It's
Mm.
over. She's not coming back. But people just come and sit there and just tell us stories that we didn't even know about. Like yeah. Oh, what an awesome woman. I tell you. She was. those kind of impact. Those kind of impact is crazy. It's crazy, and those kind of impact come when you're listening. Because let me tell you, no matter who you are and what you have, if you want to give, you just give. You just give, and more will come, and you'll just give. This is why it's so important. This is why it's so important to understand where you've been with money. When you
Mm.
understand where you've been with money, you start understanding your patterns, who you are, what you do. No blaming. No, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have. It's happened already. You can't go back. But just acknowledge where you've been. I've been a spendthrift. As it comes in, it goes out. That's who I am at the moment. Now, where am I going, and where do I need to be?
Mm.
She
She
did.
says
She did.
she
She
had the
did.
heart of Jesus,
Yeah,
Cecilia says.
she
Yeah.
did. They grew up in the church. Like my grandma
And
used to
see,
take me to church.
all
So,
of this has to do with how we handle money,
mhm.
the role models that we had, the individuals that spoke into our lives,
Mhm.
the things they demonstrated to us. Because my grandmother lived a very similar life, always giving. And
Yes.
I have seen my business partner literally take the boots off of her feet and put them on the feet of a homeless woman because the woman's feet were wet. She took her socks and her shoes and her socks and her boots and put them on this woman's feet, and
Mm.
then put the woman in her car and took her to shelter. That's the heart of God
It is. It
when you see
really
people do
is.
those kinds of things.
It really is.
It's a demonstration. Well,
It
that's a
really
whole
is.
nother subject.
Yes.
That's a good Samaritan story. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
These
Yes.
people, the things that
Yes.
they have done, and
Yes.
they have no idea what impact that has on the people who will witness it.
Yeah. That is the part. You're so right.
Mm.
That is the part. I always used to say to her, I said, she had 7 kids. And she used to come and pick me up from my mom to spend 2 weeks with her at different times. She'll go to other family members and just collect their kids to give the parent, I realize later in life,
A
a
break.
break, and just pick us up and bring us there
Mhm, mhm.
and just really look after us for those 2 weeks, and then she take us back, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because when you have that many children, children will play together.
Mhm.
They will entertain themselves.
Exactly.
But when you have one or two, it's like, okay, what are we doing next, Mom? What are we doing?
Yeah. And I was a talker. So my poor mom, my mom's a quiet lady, and I would talk her ears off. Okay.
And then look at all that you gained by being able to just help your aunt. While you're helping her, you're being mentored.
Exactly. And I didn't even know
Mhm.
it. And I didn't even know it.
I know, and I thought about that this weekend when my granddaughter was helping me, and I'm speaking into her life. Well, this is why we do this, and because she's 8. Well, she will listen at 8.
Yes.
She'll listen better at 8 than she will at 16. So if I
Yes.
start at 8, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying to you?
Yes. You're pouring into her. You're pouring into her. And my grandma, the eldest sister too, she was the reader. She
Hmm.
couldn't, you know what I found out later on in life? She couldn't read and write. But I never knew because I would read to her consistently. That's what about my job for her was to read to her. Like I go, those sisters lived together in a big house, and I remember I would just read to her. And every afternoon she'll say, "Karen, are you going to read to me today?" And so we would go over the books, and I just assumed she could read. It's later in life I recognized she couldn't read, but through me reading to her over and over,
She's gaining knowledge.
I tell you, when I look back, how rich my life has been, no matter what hardship,
Mhm.
how rich it has been. It's only you, God. And you bring things to light just when I need it. If I'm doubting myself,
Mhm.
if I'm questioning where I'm at and where I'm supposed to go next and what's going on at the moment when difficulties happen, because it didn't matter what situation you face difficulties, he brings and he showcased to me, here, girl, here is where you've been. Here's where I've placed you. Here's
What
all the
do they
people who
say?
came together to nourish you.
I think there's a proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
Mhm. And and now I understand it better, because basically when you're seeking knowledge, you're going to seek out someone who knows the subject.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're going to teach you. You just have to be
Mhm.
open. They're going to teach you, you know. And you got to know. So we're talking money and where are you going? Like once you establish that journey, that where you've been, and you're mad and you're confused and you're sad and you're lonely and you're tired and you're ready now to get up, because nobody's coming. You have to get up. If you want to, like I want to run. I've been dreaming myself running for years, but I can't run. I'm not a runner. So I'm a walker. I'm going to walk and run. But if I've seen myself running, you better believe it, at some point I need to run. There's a reason for it. There's no question in my mind, there's a reason for it. And once I
Mhm.
started remembering there's a reason for it, I went on YouTube. I started listening to people who are not runners. I don't want runners. I want people who are not runners, how they develop themselves into becoming runners.
How
And what
they
are they
became a
asking
runner.
of themselves, you know? And so they're my mental mentors because they don't know me. And this guy that I'm following now, he says, I just run from one post to the other. That's it. I just want to get to the other post. That's it. Once I pass the other post, then my next goal is the next post. And that's how it is
Mhm.
with money. I just want to have $20 in my account. And once I understand that I could have $20 in my purse, $20 in my account, wherever it should be, then I can have 40, then I can have 80. But it's the habit that you have to form, that you have to build, that you have to
Mhm.
push through. And let me tell you, that first $20 is going to be the hardest 20 you find to keep in your purse if you've never kept it. The first 20 in the bank account is going to be the hardest if you've never put it there, because
Mhm.
everybody's going to tell you saving is stupid. Why bother? Who are you leaving it for? All these things that has nothing to do with the habit that is forming. You're going to have to put all of that aside just to have this $20 in the purse. And everybody's going to need the $20, and you can't give it to anybody because the $20 need to sit there so that you can go through the processes to form this concrete habit that is very necessary for the next step that God has for you in life. You can't go share and give to anybody if you're not accumulating anything. You just
Mhm.
won't have enough. You'll do today, but you can continuously do. You'll get tired because you'll say, I don't have enough. But the job that He's given you, because God gives us jobs to help each other. Everything He put inside of me is to give to somebody else. Every single thing that He's given me is to give to somebody else. It's not to keep for myself.
Mhm.
So when I recognized that, I didn't recognize it right away, but I was always a giver. And mainly because I'm sure of my aunt. That was like a big part of who I was without knowing that was why I did it. You know, it was later on in life. So once you understand that, you really start knowing where you're going to. You really do. And you become something. And when you're a teenager, when before you're a preteen, you don't even know that what you're becoming. But each and every one of us, I don't care what you're doing, you're becoming. And then when you become a teenager, and you're still going through that stage, and you become whatever you gravitate towards, wherever you put in your time into, whatever you look forward to, that's your identity. So for me, I was a dancer and a singer. Like it didn't matter that I had business. I
Mhm.
identify as a dancer and a singer. When I'm on stage, I was at my best. When I'm in the choir singing, when I get a solo spot, if you ask me who I am and what I do, that's what I did. That's it. It didn't matter anything else because in my head, that's what I did. I had a teacher ask me once, he said to me, he said, so Caren, what are you going to do? Like, this is the plan? And I said to him, yes. And he says, why? And I said, because I love it. This is what I want to do. I want to be on stage. I love being on stage, And I'd say to him, and he'd say, I don't think that's where you should be. But oh, wow, did I ever fight him on it? Because I truly wanted to just be a dancer. I wanted to do modern dance and African
Mhm.
dance at the time. That was the genre I was really working hard at, and a little bit of waltz. I just started learning waltz, and I
Mhm.
really loved it. I really wanted to. That's where I wanted to be. So everything was I was doing because I wanted to be these things.
Mhm. Mhm.
And meanwhile, God was over here. That's why sometimes you really have to
You know,
pay
you know
attention.
what comes to my mind when you said that? I thought about the Alvin Ailey dancers. That probably was a perfect dance troupe for you.
What troop?
The Alvin Ailey dancers. out of Harlem.
Okay.
And yeah.
So I was becoming this young lady who is gonna go off to Guyana National School of Ballet, and I auditioned. I got in. I was so excited to be there, and my grandmother said I couldn't go, and she wouldn't sign the paper. It didn't matter, so because I couldn't
Woo.
go. Oh, I cried for months. I cried for months. But I still went to dance practice and I still danced through the school.
Mm-hmm.
After a certain age, you can't get in anymore. You could only get in between 12 to 13, you can be in there. After then, you can't get in
Mm-hmm.
because they want to train you from younger. And so I know once I passed the stage, I couldn't get in. I even had a cousin sign the papers because she used to dance and forge the signature
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so that I can go. But the schedule, she would have known. I had a lot of responsibilities, so I never got to go. But I guess it wasn't for me. But I cried. I cried for months. And it's like on and on, but in between, like anytime I think about it, anytime I do anything, I would really cry a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sing too, and I end up getting on the radio station at home. So that's as far as I went because I was just wanted to pursue this form of life. Eh? God's always knows best. He knows best. Meanwhile, my business was booming. Let me tell you. Meanwhile, my little snack business was booming.
Oh.
I'm fighting about dance and singing, and my business was booming because one thing with me, with money, I'm making money, so I'm not going to stop making the money because I want to dance and sing. So I'm still doing all my products on the weekend. I'm still selling 7 days a week, even though I was pursuing this.
Wow. You know something? I don't. We're amazed by that, but when we really think about it, we're all wearing so many hats
Hmm.
at the
Hmm.
same time. We really
Yes,
are.
yes.
And a lot of us
We
are showing
always
up.
do.
A lot of us are showing up daily, even though our hearts are broken.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you have to. You have to. At least in my head, I had to. I was like, if I can't do this one thing, and I can get myself at kid. One of the things I look back and I see as around all my hardship, one of the gifts that God gave to me, and I didn't know it earlier, was the freedom to think. Because I
Ah.
was the mistress of my own ship, I totally was in charge of myself at an early age. I didn't had what other kids my age had. Total freedom to think for myself. I always give this to my grandmother. It was a total you are in charge of you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. At 9 years old, I was totally in charge of me on what I need to do. I had the opportunity. I didn't see that as an opportunity at the time, but I had the opportunity to decide when I wake up, when I go to sleep, what I do in between that time, providing it doesn't disrupt what she was doing. But the
Mm-hmm.
freedom to do. So I didn't have to ask, like most kids would have to ask if they had a concert. Like if I was involved, she's not coming to the concert. But if I said I was performing in the concert, I was free to go. She didn't come and
Mm-hmm.
watch, but I was free to go. So I was hurt because she wasn't there to see me perform. But I still had the freedom to go. I also had the freedom to run my business because she never intervened or say to me here or there. She was like, you like what you're doing, do it. I don't care, kind of situation. But she never stopped. She never inquire. She never investigate. That's why I was able to make money, save money, have all that money. She didn't know because she never investigated. It was a strange way when I look back, especially how I raised my kids and how other people raise their kids. It was really a strange sort of behavior that she had, but it allowed me to really raise myself in the way that I choose to raise me. From 9 to 14, I really formulate myself of who and shape myself in who I was going to be through her, my freedom with her, my teachers. And I went to a Methodist school. So through church, because the school is a school is a branch from the church. So the Methodist church and our school It's right there. So we went to church every Wednesday and Tuesday. So I'm learning the Word of God, even though I was a Catholic at the time. And I'm going to school, and most of the teachers there obviously have some kind of a Christian background that they're there. So you're really learning that framework from them.
Yes.
You're really getting into, although I didn't know at the time, into that mind frame. So certain things is just you just wouldn't do because of where I'm schooled. You know, I mean,
Boundaries and integrity are on the plate. Yeah.
yeah, they were very. There's no relaxing moment in those. Like very disciplined. So I'm a very disciplined and organized person. Like those things were not tolerated. Like you just had to go along with that. So yeah, that's yeah, when you look back at life. Anyhow, we're getting to the end. So we I'm not gonna worry with the other two. We just talked about where you've been, where you're going, and who you are becoming. Because until we die, we're constantly becoming. And the reason I surround teenage years, because that's at that time, that was what I was becoming. That was going to be that solid me to roll me into my later teens and into my 20s. It was foundational. It was really foundational. And if you look back, you'll see spots in your lives where it was really foundational. It really set the pace for you, good or bad. It really set the pace. And some kids could have been rebellious because of this. Some kids could have do all kind of things because of this. And I had friends who did. But I didn't see it as my best interest. And maybe because a lot of me were so much into business focus. Once I realized I wasn't going to dance and I realized I wasn't going to sing after high school, then the next thing was my business. And
Uh,
so my energy went into that. And I rarely start focusing on how I'm going to grow my money because it was part of my curriculum teaching us money. Although after my time, they don't teach it anymore. But we had representatives from the bank who come in and literally talk about money
wow.
and
How nice.
talk about compounding money and how your money
Mhm.
grows. And it didn't last very long, but I was just in time to get that stuff in me. And I started looking at other people who had businesses, and I would talk to them because I was never a shy child. Like I figured, as I said, I was looking after me, so I represented me very well. And I tell people that up front. I'm like, I look after me. You don't have to ask or send for anybody to look after me. Like whatever you need, you ask me, and I'll deliver it. I was very bold with my teachers and anybody.
Mhm.
So I was never shy to talk to adults and find out what they're doing. And I realized a lot of people own businesses, but they didn't know what they were doing with their money. They got it, they sold, but beyond that, and they pay their rent and they pay their bills, but there was nothing that was really moving them forward and getting them anywhere other than this is what they're going to do every day until they're not doing it anymore. you know
Mm.
and over time I was always been a writer too. Like I'd write behind my books any thought that I had, anything that I could take from this and turn it into this, even when I don't know all the steps in between. I'm
Okay.
whatever. I would just write it down, and then I would just write whatever I need to write. And always and always, it all those in between steps, God just provide them. God just provide them. He just allowed things to happen to bring it together. This is the part where faith and trust and belief you really have to understand. You don't have to know everything. And trust me, I'm the kind of child who wanted to know everything. But you don't have to know everything. You just have to do what needs to be done at the time. Like I just needed to feg the orange and sell the orange figs. I never knew I would be here today. I just sell the
Mhm.
orange. And then from selling the orange, other things start playing in my mind. Well, Karen, you can sell this, this, and that. And literally, like I'm talking to you, Terry, I'll say to myself, so I could do that? And then I just go do
Mhm.
it. But I was a child at the time, so I'm not questioning too deep. Adults question further. We want
Mhm.
to know if we sell here, let's say here, if you're selling here, who's going to buy the hair? That's fair. And when I sell the hair, where I'm going to get more hair from? That's fear. But if you sold the first bundle of hair, something's going to happen and you're going to find out where to buy hair. And then you're
Mm.
going to find out how many people are going to buy the hair. But you got to trust. When I first started being a natural hairstylist, I wanted to sell hair because a lot of clients would come to me but don't have the right hair.
Yes.
And I was saying this. I remember going to bed. I'm saying after finishing ladies hair, I really need to figure out how I'm going to buy hair wholesale. And a friend, somebody came and get the hair done, and she called me after I finished doing her hair. She says, "Karen, this is going to be a strange request, but I have to ask you, would you be my friend?" And an adult never asked me this. So I was like in shock land. I was like, why? I literally
Mhm.
said, why? She goes, after our conversation, I've never had anybody who speak like this to me, and I need friends like that. And
Mhm.
I said, cool.
That is so important for us to recognize the kinds of friends we have. Sherry's in here. She says, "Good morning. How
Good
you doing, Sherry?
morning.
Thank you
Hi,
for
Sherry.
joining us." Yes, we're about to wrap this
Yes,
conversation
to
up,
wrap it up.
but
Look at the time.
we
Where did the
will
time go?
continue it because we only got three of the five steps
Yes.
to the plan.
We're going to
So
close it
we
out next week. We're going to come back and finish them up next week.
a five-step system for money. So you
Yes.
need to know. You want to recap for us? Um,
Yes. So we covered today, where have you been? And that's in terms of money. Where have you been with money? How it feels, what has happened, what has either destroyed you or make you feel great or glad, whatever that is. Just understand it. Don't condemn yourself. Don't be mad with you. It's happened already. You can't go back. Okay. And where are you going? Like, where are you going now towards money? Where are you doing? You lead and money follow. You don't let money lead you. You lead and money follow. Let it fall
mm,
into place behind you. Okay. And then who are you becoming because of it? Answer these questions. Like, really sit down and give yourself the time to answer these questions. Write the questions down. Here's the key. When you write a question down, don't be in a hurry to get the answer.
mm.
Don't be in a hurry. Go cook, have a bath, do whatever you need to do, and the answer will appear. I promise you.
Wow, that's good. That's good advice. That's good advice because a lot of times we want to sit there and ponder and ponder and ponder when the answer is on its way.
Mhm.
It's just if you're going to sit there till it comes, that's going to be a while. It might be a while, and it may
Might be a
not.
while. Mhm.
Hmm.
So,
Wow.
so that's what we talk about today.
Well, we will continue this conversation next week with Coach
Yes.
Caren. She's here every Wednesday right now. And we want you to know that if you have a question, you can put it in the chat.
Mhm.
Let's see. We have, oh, Sherry says she loves this. Well, we love you too, Sherry. So please join us. We're here every morning, 8 o'clock Central Time, and pardon me, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time,
Yes.
and I believe that's 10 o'clock Central Time.
Okay.
So with that,
Thank you,
she said, "I will
Cecilia.
catch the replay." Okay. Thank you, Cecilia, and thank you, Sherry, and all of you who are watching on the replay, and those of you who've tuned in live. We want to thank you for being a part of this conversation. We want you to know that BizChicks is here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to
Mhm.
run. Remember to follow Coach Caren on the web everywhere at Profits in
And
Daily.
daily.
Let me put this up because I do have an East Coast accent. So you may not, sometimes our words don't come out the way we want them to. So it's Coach Caren, and that's Caren Fern, like the plant.
Mhm.
Profits in Daily. You can find her everywhere on the web. Also, we want you to know that if you want to join the Biz Chicks community, you can simply go to bizchicks.net, and the profile will pop up and you can become a part of our community. We are moving from the circle to this new community because we feel it's easier to navigate. Some of the things we're just like, what is this? Over in the circle. And one of the reasons we went to the circle is because Facebook was well, some of the, I don't want to mention that, I've already have, but anyway, some of them got a little convoluted, and we're cutting off communication between
Mm-hmm.
in our community. So we
Yes.
wanted a platform where you can speak directly to one another. There'll
Yes.
be a place for you to put your announcements in if you're having events so that we can help support you. Because the question for BizChicks is, how can we support you?
Yes.
How can we help you run that profitable business that's fun to
That's
run? We
fun
want
to
to see you
run.
smile,
Yes.
put you on your way to the bank. Go.
So true.
Yes, yes. So with that, remember, it's okay to run a profitable
Hmm.
business. Okay, guys?
That's the only business you want to be running.
Exactly. Exactly. It's okay to make money in your business. Give yourself permission to take that payment. Show up for that payment. And then go to the front of your own line. With that,
Please.
we say join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be talking with Robin Shimizu, Happy Healthy Habits. And on Friday, we will be talking tech in English. Don't be scared. Come on over. Find out some things that'll help you run your business more profitably. Because we don't like convoluted crap. We like making stuff simple, easy to understand so that you can apply it to your business. Have a great day, and we will see you then. Until then, we love you, and remember to go to the
To the
front of your
front
own
of your
line.
own line.
Bye bye.